So, in today's topic, we will go over a sales strategy that can be used unethically, but if you use it the right way, you can make a lot of money. My name is Rome, and over the last 5 years, I've done tens of thousands of sales calls, brought in over $9 million of sales of online coaching programs and info products, and sold for one of the biggest online coaches in the world, like Tai Lopez, Eric Spofford, and a couple more. And during this time, I've worked on and I perfected this strategy. It's called future pacing. And I'm gonna share with you guys an exclusive coaching call that I did with my students where I teach them exactly how to do it so you guys can go apply it immediately right after this video. And without further ado, let's dive right in. So yeah, future pacing. It's one of the most powerful techniques that I've used that's behind hundreds of thousands of sales that I've personally made. And I want to share with you guys because I don't feel like we talk about this enough. Future pacing, to put it to you guys in simple terms, it's just a technique where you guide your prospect to visualize their future with our product or service, right? How would their life look like if they actually succeeded with your product or service? That all what we're doing here, it was just helping your prospect mentally experience the benefits of going through with this, helping them make the decision more appealing. That's the whole reason why we're doing this, to make it a much more like, yes, I'm down to do this with you guys, because I can already imagine myself working with you guys. I can imagine myself being successful. I can imagine myself having those problems when I'm successful, right? That they're more likely to say yes. That's the whole point of doing this. Before I dive into future pacing, I just want to talk a little bit more about visualization, what it is, why is it so important? Anybody want to take a go? Like what is visualization? Like, what's the first thing that comes into mind when somebody says visualization?
Frequency.
Painting a
Go.
picture.
Giving a person hope, like
Acting as it.
I was just thinking of like a mental vision board.
Yeah, that's all right. Exactly, man. It's just a process or the art of creating like a mental image or representation of an idea or a concept or a goal. That's all what it is. You're just imagining what it would be like to achieve these goals. And not only like what would it look like for you to achieve those goals, but also the steps that you need to take. So it's super important for clarity, right? Helps us clarify what you truly desire and the specifics of that desire, making your goals more like tangible and concrete, right? So it's important that we do the same thing to our prospects. Every single person here visualized themselves on these calls before you even went into Millionaire Closers, before you guys went into MC. Every single person here already visualized what their future would actually look like if they achieved their goals with MC. Am I right? Is that true? Otherwise, you wouldn't have been here. It's very important for us to give that clarity to our prospect, give that motivation to our prospect, right? By keeping them focused to help them actually visualize the plan and what would look like, because a confused mind doesn't buy. Anybody want to kind of give a go on future pacing, how they would do that on calls? Lataro, go ahead.
Yeah, so when you get started here and you get to that point where you're making 10K a month, you're spending more time with your family, going on those trips that you were just talking about, like how's that going to make you feel? Something like that.
Good. I personally, it's a good example of future pacing, of making your prospects think about the feelings that they will have, or even something a little bit more powerful. You could be like, so you have more time. Tell me, like, how would your life be different with all this time? Like, what would you actually do? And then just make them like mentally rehearse, like, what is it exactly that they're going to be doing? And then with that, when they do that, those feelings are going to arise by themselves. Simba, you want to give it a go?
Let's go. So, man, Rome, tell me, when you're making 50K a month with real estate investing, like walk me through a day of, Rome making 50K a month.
Nice. Wayne?
Yeah, sorry, Ron. I usually imagine, I'd say, imagine 6 months from now, you're in a position where you're making that 25 grand a month. I mean, what do you think your life would look like?
Good. Beryl?
Yeah, I usually just ask like, wow, that's crazy, man. 20K a month, that's a lot of money. Walk me through, what would your day-to-day look like? Something like that.
Yeah, good. With that type of energy, right? You're curious, it's not like serious. You're curious. It's exciting. Good. Very good. Now that's the goal. How would you make them imagine the process of the things that they need to do to get there?
So what would they have to do to reach 20K a month?
Exactly.
Okay. Probably ask something like, wow, 20K is a lot, man. Do you have Do you have any idea of what you'd have to do to reach that number?
Sure, yeah, you can ask that, or you can ask like, what's your plan to reach that, and have them like think of a plan. Show you guys another way, a more powerful way that I don't see anybody doing this. Like even the top closers, even closers on our team sometimes miss this, and it's so important. I'll give you guys a few examples of what people like in real estate, what they do. I'm on the lookout right now for a home, right? So whenever I go and I'm looking for a multifamily home, and all the realtors do the same thing. They all like walk me in the room, and then they're like, they say, "Hey, dude, picture yourself here. You're waking up here, and you're enjoying breakfast with this amazing cherry tree outside, right there." They're future pacing me. They're making me imagine waking up there and having breakfast in front of the beautiful view, right? In dealerships, you guys, if you guys ever bought a car from a dealership, then you probably would have experienced this. They walk you around the dealership and show you where you're gonna come and park your car when it comes back for service. So they're already imagining you in the car driving back, booking your appointment for a service in their dealership, right? In fitness programs or like actual like online, not online trainers, but trainers in gyms. I don't know if you guys ever had that when you went in, they made you stand on something and then you grab like 2 electrodes or something and it measures your body fat. Anybody have that? Yeah, so they do that. So they look at you, and they print it out. Like, okay, imagine us standing here 3 months from now, achieving XYZ body fat. Dude, how proud would you be of yourself? How much prouder would you be of yourself? And then I start thinking, wow, like, yeah, I'd actually feel good. Like, I can't wait to step on this in 3 months. What do we got to do? Okay, cool. So, future pacing, right? There's two different times that I do it on the call. Envision, when we talk about their goals and I make them imagine what their life would look like, right? Because again, our mind doesn't know the difference between imagination and real life, right? So our goal is to make them feel like they're already there. And I do that once in vision, the second time during the pitch. Again, when we visualize, we're visualizing the goals, and then we visualize the process to get there. Similarly with our prospects, you want to visualize their goals and how they're going to get there. I want them to imagine like what the steps that they need to take. And the first clear step is what? Is our coaching program, whatever we sell them, right? Whatever service are you selling them. So in the pitch, what I would usually say is, hey, listen, we're gonna have coaching calls Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 3 p.m. Eastern. Can I count on you to hop on those calls? Yes, I can hop on those calls because they're thinking about, can I hop on these calls? Yeah, I can actually imagine myself on these calls at this time. Perfect. And by the way, hey, when you're on the coaching call, please don't be like most people. Don't be shy. Like ask questions, interact, super active community. Make sure you're interactive as well. Hey, by the way, if you miss one of these calls, it's totally fine. Hey, I know life happens. I know you mentioned you have 9 to 5, you have a kid, you have this, and that. If you miss a call, that's totally fine. Just send us a message, send us the questions before your call. We'll make sure to answer them on the call and send you an email with the recording. Another one, really powerful one. I'll do one example for real estate and one example for e-commerce. In real estate, what I say is, hey, listen, by the way, when you get to your third property, don't do this mistake that like 99% of people who get into real estate do. When you get 3 properties, don't create yourself another glorified 9 to 5 job and hire yourself a property manager, man. Remember our conversation? You told me that the reason why you want to do this is so that you can have time. But the issue that I see is most people, when they get the third property, they try to want to keep all the money to themselves and they don't want to hire a property manager. And what happens is that they're spending a lot of time now dealing with all these issues when you could just pay somebody so you can have more time for yourself so that you can go ahead and get even more properties. Right now, they're visualizing themselves like actually getting 3 properties and making that decision. You know what? Yes, I'll spend more money so that I can have more time. Everybody following? Everybody digging this? Beautiful. Real estate, not real estate, e-commerce. What I usually do with e-commerce, so whenever walking them through the pitch, I'm like, hey, listen, whenever you start getting sales, whenever you're getting 10, 20 sales a day, you know, at that point, you're probably going to have hundreds of people coming on your stores, asking you questions, you know, how much is this? Can you give me a discount? Or can you tell me a little bit more about the features of the products? What's, you know, how long is the shipping? In the beginning, when you launch your business, you're going to have time to answer those questions yourself to make those sales. But when you're growing, and again, this is the biggest mistake I see with people, with entrepreneurs trying to scale the e-commerce business, is that, again, they create another 9 to 5 and they're like, now that they're like customer service answering everybody on their website. Hey, listen, when you get to 100, 200 or visitors a day, you're going to have like 10, 20 questions a day, and that's going to take a few hours every time. So I recommend If you're looking to really scale your business, take this seriously and make tens of thousands of dollars a month, hire out a VA, hire out somebody that will take care of your customer service for you so you can continue on working on the business instead of answering silly questions that somebody you can pay $5 an hour for or $3 an hour for. Okay? That's the whole reason why we're doing this. To make it a much more like yes, I'm down to do this with you guys because I can already imagine myself working with you guys. I can imagine myself being successful. I can imagine myself having those problems when I'm successful, right? That they're more likely to say yes. That's the whole point of doing this. Any questions, guys, before we dive into some role plays? Aaron, what's up?
Yeah, quick question. You mentioned about future pacing me in the presentation, all right? Is there a certain position where you position future pacing? Like, is it before deliverables or is it in between?
It's during. It's the whole way through, man. You know, it's like whenever you're telling them about the coaching calls, right? Those are the deliverables. You're making sure they can actually hop on those calls. You're making sure that they're actually asking questions. You're letting them know if they miss a call that, you know, they can go back and rewatch it because life happens and that's totally fine. So yeah, it's really throughout the whole thing. Even in the beginning, like before I pitch personally, I always tell them, hey, listen, our goal is to get your first property next 90 days. Okay, that's our goal. And the way that we're gonna do that, get your first property is we're gonna do this, this, and this. That's how I usually start off my pitches, right?
Okay.
Depending on what goal they gave us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Rowdy.
Hi, Ron. So, man, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like there's like two types of future pacing. So the first one is like in Vision where you bring in the prospect as pain points, and then you're like, if this pain point is gone, what would your life really look like then? And then maybe like the second type is in presentation where it's like more program based, where it's like, hey, once you're actually in our program, I get it, life happens, you may miss a call. It's all good, man. Just send me an email and I'll send you that call. So is it like two types? One that brings in the pain point and the other one that's more program based?
So think of it, there's two types of like visualization. Forget about future pacing. Visualization is, I like to think of it of two different types. Visualize yourself at the top of your goal, the top of the mountain, and then visualize the steps that you need to take to get there. So with future pacing on these calls, we're figuring out their goals, what the top is for them, right? What their goals is, what their true desires are, right?
Yeah.
And then the process to get there is like in the pitch, right? So I'm talking to them about the program, how they're going to be active on calls, hopping on calls. So I'm future pacing them, making them imagine the steps that they need to take, which is the next step of like hopping on calls, asking questions, right? That's the next step they need to take. Also in the pitch, what I like to say is, because I tell them, right, our goal in the beginning, I tell them beginning of the pitch, that the goal is for me to get you first, for us to help you get your first property in the first 90 days, right? And then I tell them whenever we get you there, by the way, you know, don't make the same mistake like most people who get into real estate do and then try to do all the property management themselves. Like try to actually hire out a property manager when you get to your second and third and fourth property, right? Similarly to e-commerce, when somebody's signing up because they want to go start an e-commerce business, when I'm on the pitch, again, I let them know like this is, you need to hop on these coach calls, you need to be active, can you actually commit, make sure you ask questions, don't be shy. If you have any questions, reach out to us. And then I always tell them, hey, listen, but at the end of the pitch, usually when everything makes sense, hey, by the way, I just want to give you a piece of advice here. Whenever we get you to $100 a day or 10 sales a day, 20 sales a day, just keep heads up, you're going to have a lot of customer service to do. Okay, you're going to be doing a lot of customer service, and that's totally fine for you to do it by yourself. However, just like be self-aware, dude, that you told me that your goal is to create more time yourself, and you're not here to create another glorified 9 to 5. So make sure whenever you're at that point where you see that it's taking you more than 3-4 hours a day to respond to everybody, hire somebody out, because you can use those 3 to 4 hours a day, apply to your business, apply to marketing, apply to content, and make a lot more money than you would just spend those couple of hours a day responding to people, where you can pay somebody $3 an hour to do that. Make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like future pacing the result and then future pacing the steps to get to that result.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Absolutely. Beryl, what's up?
So would you future steps the result in Vision 2, right? So that means, yeah, so the result and the steps are in Vision, and then the one in the presentation is the deliverables. Like, can you see yourself hopping on these calls? So that's what you basically meant, right?
Correct. You can do that too, and you can even do like the results and the vision also in the pitch. It's whatever feels like natural to you, right? So you could do that in the pitch, like make them imagine what their life would look like and let them know, hey, by the way, you know, you can get really busy with 2, 3 properties. Make sure you hire out somebody else, or again with e-commerce.
Okay.
Right.
Can you give that advice in vision too? It's just as long as it sounds natural.
Yes, 100%.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Rom.
Absolutely. Sully, can you do an example of fitness wait list? Actually, Sully, let's role play this, man. Let me see if you can feature pace me, since you are in fitness.
Yeah, that's like, because you know what I'm just thinking now off the top of my head is like, I like what you're doing in the sense that like you're talking about the next stage, which sounds like it's a problem, but it's a good problem to have, basically.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna tell you how to deal with that good problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, oh yeah, just so you know, like a lot of people, you know, our goal is to get you to lose your first 2 kg within 2 weeks. And once that happens, a lot of people will struggle with their protein intake. So make sure you're taking enough protein because people start feeling, I don't know, something along, I kind of get what you're saying, but I was thinking in my head.
Sure,
Like,
yeah.
you're getting to a result that's good, but like that result's so good that it's another problem now. So, but we've got you covered anyway.
Yeah. Or you can say something like this: hey man, when you get you those six pack abs and the ladies can't resist you, bro, listen, the biggest problem I see is a lot of ladies will gonna lure you into their parties and make you drink alcohol and f your diet. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm trying to think how far you yeah, okay, yeah, you go with that. That one's a bit humorous. I like the real estate one, that's like really like you're thinking like, oh man, these guys are gonna get me to my goal quick. I like that one because that real estate one is like, you know, like it's real.
Yeah.
Trying to think of a fitness one now, like kind of thing. But like that one is humorous, it's good. Even when you close me, it's kind of like, oh, you know, if you know, say you're doing a payment plan or whatever, and it's like, oh, you know, if you start making money before it's done, I'll make sure we take it off of whatever's left. We'll take it from your profits kind of thing. So it's like if you get say you start making money.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like so
It
it's
happens
like,
a lot of
oh,
times.
it's like so you start thinking like, okay, like yeah, man. Yeah, so it's true, it's good. Yeah.
Real quick, the fitness one is plateauing. You know, there's times you're gonna plateau.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but like it's the result. That's not a good result, plateauing. It's what I mean. Like,
No, but
do you get what I'm saying?
Rome was trying to make us aware of challenges ahead once you make certain progress.
Yes, once you've achieved your desired goal, these are the negatives that are gonna happen. Because it's true, man. Whatever success you will have in life, like you will have problems with it. I got a McLaren 2 years ago. It was very cool up until 26 days in, where I didn't know how to actually protect myself. And I went out alone at 2 a.m. on a Wednesday night, and I got jumped by 6 guys and got my car stolen. So maybe I at the dealership should have told me, like, hey, by the way, you're gonna be a really popular guy. Like, you make sure you're driving with like at least four other guys.
So hold on, are you actually trying to bring up a negative? Or I thought the purpose was like a negative that's really a positive. Or you actually are trying to show a negative that's gonna come
It
later
is
on.
100%. Yeah, there is a negative. Absolutely.
Okay.
Everything positive comes in your life. There's a negative that will come with it. You know what I mean? Like seriously, like in e-commerce, like if you have a business that has a lot of traffic and you don't know how to delegate, you are f***ed. You know what I mean? Similarly with real estate, if you are like penny pinching, you don't want to hire a property manager and you want to try to do everything yourself, you're also f***ed. You know?
Okay, yeah. So what's your purpose in telling them this actually now? Because I might have got it wrong then.
To make them imagine what their life would look like if they got in there. And hey, by the way, whenever you get there, look out for this problem. And we have this problem, make sure you do this. And now they feel like, oh, okay, when I get there, I'm gonna make sure to do that. Right? They're already sold.
Okay. Yeah, because you know, like I got a guy as well. He does actually does real estate. He teaches programs on it, yeah. And like what he would say is like, what he's found is that when he helps people become financially free, okay, not necessarily rich, but like financially free, that they don't actually know what to do with themselves. So he's like, kind of just watch out for when you become financially free, you're gonna have so much time on your hands that like you're not even gonna know really what to do. You kind of start feeling like, okay, what am I gonna do now? that's and then basically what he's saying is that you have to set another goal. So there's financial freedom, there's ultimate financial freedom, and then there's like kind of being a philanthropist after that kind of thing.
Not thinking about it like that, like which goal, like ultimate goal or short-term goal. It's not about that. All what we're doing here, it was just helping your prospect mentally experience the benefits of going through with this, helping them make the decision more appealing and emotionally driven. That's the whole reason why we're doing this, to make it a much more like, yes, I'm down to do this with you guys, because I can already imagine myself working with you guys. I can imagine myself being successful. I can imagine myself having those problems when I'm successful, right? That they're more likely to say yes. That's the whole point of doing this.
These are success problems.
Yeah, let's do some role plays. Let's do some future pacing.
There you go. How you
Wayne.
been anyway, Joshua?
Wayne, future pace me.
Doing good.
Future pace you. Simba, how you doing?
Future pace me, man. I'm doing good, man.
So, like, give me your goals then. Okay, let's do that. Okay, Simba. So, what's your goal here? What are you actually looking to achieve when it comes to e-commerce?
Man, I want to be making 50,000 a month.
Okay, cool, nice goal. And why'd you pick that number?
Honestly, it's because, yeah, I really want to be able to have, the best for my kids and, be able to really give them the time that I can't right now.
Okay. And what do you feel like you're missing out on when it comes to your kids?
I've just been missing like all their soccer games and missed like the ballet recital the other night. I can't even like have family dinner with my family half the night. So
Sure. Okay. I'm just curious because like 50 grand will buy you a lot of good recitals and school things, etc. So what's the actual why is 50 grand so important? I know you said your kids, but like paint me a picture, man. What would that give you that maybe you can't do right now?
yeah, well, just my job is so busy. Like I'm making great money at the job, but it's like if I quit the job and I'd have all the time in the world for my family, but then I wouldn't have any income. So it's really about, replacing that income, like maintaining our lifestyle.
Taking that first step to
All right, I'm gonna chime in. Wayne, Simba, how do you feel about Wayne and the way that he's asking the questions?
I'm getting a little annoyed because I'm fast paced and I'm A-type, and it's like therapy versus like helping me get to my goal.
Yeah, I'm with you. Just for context, I was a little bit confused because we were going back to a bit of vision and then we went to situation. So all I was trying to find out was the context. So I put my hands up that maybe I was slowing you down quite considerably.
Not only that, but it's just the way that you're asking questions. It's like therapy mode. It's like therapy mode, It's like, what's your goal? Well, why is it that you want to do this? Or how would things be different in your life? You're talking to him like he has a problem, like it's like,
Okay.
it's no longer conversational. It's more of like I'm a therapist, and you have a problem trying to solve your problem here. When really it should be like more laid back, chill, understanding his goals, and a lot more conversation, a lot more curious, a lot more friendly than serious. But to confuse you here, it's not about the type of buyer. It's like, think about it, like you're having a conversation with the prospect and you want to make it seem like an enjoyable conversation, right? And you're like having a laid back, like, hey, what's your goal? What's your goal? Like, what are you working towards? You just really need to like up your energy for sure, because your energy is low, man. You need to up your energy, man. Stand up when you're talking. That alone will up your energy by 50%. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's give somebody else another go. Somebody with high energy. Anybody want to go?
I'll
Joshua?
go. Oh,
Sure, I'll go.
All right, Joshua, let's go. Talk to me.
All right, should we just do vision?
Yes.
All right, so
So I'm an
Rome.
engineer. Let me give you some context. I'm an engineer, 9 to 5, single. I find that I'm at a point in my life where I'm kind of like almost living to paycheck. Of a little bit of savings. I just want time, I know I have a lot of potential to do more in my life, so I can have more freedom. I can, travel more, and I can actually start building, start a family. So that's where I'm at.
Okay, so now start from vision.
Alright, so Rome, what's the goal here with starting this business? What do you really want to see come from it?
Well, and my goal is start a business, and I want to make 100 grand in my first year of business.
Okay, 100 grand. And what would making 100 grand actually do for you?
100 grand, dude, will give me the confidence to be like, okay, I can actually start walking away from, give me the confidence to at least start doing a little bit more like part-time hours, part-time hour work. And I can spend more time on this business and scale that.
Okay, so less time at work and more time focusing on this business and scaling it. Why is scaling it such an important thing for you?
Well, I mean, I want to grow, right? I don't want to stay stagnant. I know the importance in business is that have to keep on growing. If you're not growing, you're dying, right?
Right, very true. So let's say you do build this business, 6 to 12 months down the line, you're making, 100K a month from it. What does life look like? Where are you actually growing to?
What's the last part?
Where are you actually growing to?
Where am I growing to?
Yeah,
What do you mean by that?
like, you're making 100K a month from a business you started from the ground up, right?
Yeah.
What's that level of growth you're actually looking to achieve from this?
So I'm looking to grow this, man. I want to make 1 million a year. Like that's the goal. I want to make 100,000 now so that I can make 100,000 and then I could quit my job, do this full time, and then scale it to 1 million, man. I want to be able to charter private jets with the family. I want to be able to have a little bit more freedom in my life. I've been working at this shop for 7 years, man. Like I told you, it's been 7 years working 9 to 5, having 3 weeks off a year. I just want to be able to have a little more freedom.
At Rome, like, these are pretty ambitious goals. Where do you think that comes from?
Where does it come from?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, man, it comes from the pain of not doing anything for almost a decade and just working at 9 to 5 and having like little to no freedom. And we're not getting any younger here, right?
That's very true. That's true. And let's say, you work at this, for the next couple of years, you really grind and you build this business. You're making a couple million a year. I mean, what then?
Right now we're going a little bit like, I mean, I can answer the question, but we're going like too far. We're missing the point. It's like, okay, you make 100K, then what? 1 million. Okay, then what? You know what I mean? Instead,
Right.
it's just like, okay, well, you're making 100,000 a year, dude. How would things be different for you if you're able to, do 100 grand a year and you're still working your 9 to 5 and you're an engineer, right? You're probably making minimum 6 figures as well. That's like almost doubling your income. Like, how would things be different for you? Well, I'll be able to, X, Y, and Z, this, and this, and that. God, amazing, man. That's sick. Like, you'll be finally be able to do this and this and this. I can't imagine, dude, what you've been going through, sitting, 8 hours a day in front of a computer and going to meet, useless all hands meetings. I get it, man. And hey, by the way, what happens after you hit 100K? What's the plan next? Yeah, make it conversational. It doesn't have to be like, okay, well, what happens when you get to this place? It's almost like you're asking me a trick question.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I got caught up on the fact that you're saying you want to do 100 million and blah blah blah. Should have just gone deeper on.
I didn't say 100 million. I said 1 million. I also said 100,000 a year, and you said 100,000 a month. You need to listen more. Write it down, man. Write it down. Write it down. Because if you're on call, if you're on an actual meeting with me, bro, and I hop on sales calls because I'm trying to also better myself too. I go into like other like mentorships and like if the sales guy once I am turned off, by the way, if I tell him, dude, I want to be able to make through this avenue, I want to be able to make 25,000 a month with what you're talking to me about. That's my goal. And he's like, okay. So if whenever we get to 25,000 a week, I said 25,000 a month. This guy's saying a week. He's not here to help me. I don't think like he's looking out for me. Make sense?
Yeah. So when they give you a number like that, you want to dig on what does actually change in your life,
Exactly.
What
The
does that
change.
help in your life? Do you at any point after that want to ask like what would be next, or at that point you kind of really have their vision already?
If you feel like you have the vision, you have their like true desired outcome, sure. There's no harm in asking what's next.
Right.
Because there could be something else that they're thinking of, right? Everybody's different. Everybody strategizes and thinks differently. You know, some people are like literally just using this as a tool to get them to where they actually want to go. And that's what you need to figure out, where they actually want to go. What change they're trying to make with this.
All right.
All right. Let's do one more last role play. Anybody want to do a vision role play here with Lataro? Lataro, you want to do it with Radi?
Go. Ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Radi, give a little context about you, kind of situation, some pains. You can take
Okay.
as much time as you want.
Let's say I'm a manager at Nike. Been there for 5 years. I'm 22. I feel like, I hit the ceiling and I want more for my life, and I'm a fast-paced move towards.
Okay. So, Ratty, you have all these goals. How much are you looking to make on, let's say, a monthly basis when it comes to e-commerce?
Man, honestly,
What goals did he say he has?
He's just, I don't know, like more out of life.
We don't know, right?
Yeah.
Like, Roddy, you said you're a Foot Locker manager. You feel like you've reached the ceiling, and what else?
yeah, I think I can do more with my life.
Perfect. So now we're in vision, right? Like, okay, Roddy, I feel like I have a pretty good idea of where you're at. I just want to switch gears here a little bit, talk about where you're looking to take this long term. Roddy, like, what's your goal next 3 to 6 months here?
Man, honestly, like really the first step is just being able to quit my job. I feel like it's holding me back. Yeah, I was able to move up to manager position, but no, man, I feel like I'm made for so much more.
You're made for so much more, Ratty. Tell me a little bit more about that. Where do you really see yourself going with this long term?
Yeah, I've always had a passion for business, right? So, if I'm able to, if I'm able to make a few sales and then hopefully scale this up to a point where I'm buying my dream car. I can go, travel whenever I want to. I can bring my parents with me and buy my siblings some stuff. That's really what I'm looking to do.
Okay, that sounds amazing, Ratty. And I definitely believe that you're the type of person that's going to be able to do something like that. But do you want me to tell you how this is actually going to work?
Yeah, please, yeah.
Okay, so like once you get your initial sales going, like you're going to be getting 10 to 20 sales a day. Like you're going to be able to handle that by yourself, but eventually you're going to be getting hundreds of messages and, I don't know why I brought it down this route. I was just trying to bring in some
Yeah,
stuff.
not good placement here. So it's not a good placement.
Oh.
I always like to say that, like that part. You can say it in vision, but I always like to say it in the pitch, usually towards the end, because when we're walking them through like the pitch, what's going to happen every month, and hey, by the way, when we get you to here, just keep in mind this, and that. Keep that for like the pitch. That's how I've been doing it. That's what's been working out for me. Vision, I don't want you keep doing it the way that we've been coaching on, right? What, why? What's your goal? Financial freedom. What does financial freedom look like to you? More time. Why do you want more time? More time with kids. Why do you want more time with kids? What, why? Super simple. Okay. You don't have to kind of like that's the kind of formula I use. You could use that too, if you like.
So just a bunch of whack questions, like really dig in. And
Yeah.
like he hit me with he gave me a pretty detailed vision. Like he wants to like do all these things. Should I just hit him with another whys? Like, why is that important to you?
So what did he say?
Like helping out his sisters,
Okay.
something about
Traveling, buying my favorite car, and helping out my family. No, man, just like the general stuff that I guess everyone wants to do when they get money.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Amazing, dude. That's amazing. Those girls are amazing. It just shows me you want better for yourself and better for your family. Have you always been like that? You always like want to give back to family?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Growing up, my parents did a lot for me. So, man, if I'm able to, give back to them, like that would, like that'd be like a life goal that I've
Yeah.
hit.
That's amazing, man. And Latara, you said something. You told him, I believe you can do that, and I believe you can achieve your goals, and then you continued. You never want to like give somebody flattery like that. Yeah, no, I believe you can do that, man. Why? I would say, well, dude, I believe you can do it. From everything that you've shared with me on this short call, that you're a manager, you've been there 5 years, you show me that you're consistent and you're a managerial position, and you know that you've, reached a ceiling, and you know you deserve more. I believe you can do it based on what you told me. Right? I believe you can do it because if you just tell them, I believe you can do it. Yeah, man, I believe you can do it, bro. You got this. Are you gonna really believe that? He believes
Sounds
it.
sounds
Honestly, I didn't believe that. Even from like a prospect perspective, I'm like, yo, like this guy's just saying that to say it.
Just saying to say it. Exactly. Exactly. So always say, like, if you wanna give a compliment, say why. All right. So yeah, that's amazing. Great goals. Hey, by the way, I'm just thinking, like, I have a lot of these conversations. Very rare that I hear people not only want to help themselves, but you want to actually do this. You want to go through a couple months, a couple years that, go through things that most people won't do, so you can have a life that most people can't have, just so you can give back to your sister and your mother and father. Why is that so important to you? To give
Mhm.
back to your sister and to give back to your mother? Like, why is that something that's so important to you?
Yeah, honestly, man, like I'm the youngest in my family. So, growing up, I felt like I always had it easier than everyone else, right? I saw my parents going to work all day long, and my sister was, she was the first in my family to go to university. So I saw her grinding. I felt like I got it easy.
Mm,
So, and the reason why I got it easy was because they put in all that work. So if I'm able to, pay them back for that, pay them back for giving me, the childhood that I had, man, like that would mean the world to me.
wow. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. That was good. That was well done. I felt like, I dug deep enough. You can go further even, dude. Okay, amazing. What happens after that? You're able to give back to your family. You know they're set. You have this peace of mind. Your heart feels safe. You feel relieved. You can take care of them. You can have a little bit more time on your hands. You're not going to be, going and fetching shoe sizes for people at Foot Locker. What's next, man? I show them that I'm listening. Like, I'm here, I'm listening, I'm telling them it's awesome. Tell me more. What are you gonna do next?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Beautiful. Beautiful. Everybody digging this today?
for
Amazing.
sure.
Amazing.
Loved it.
Um, Thank you. Appreciate it. Any questions here, guys, before we wrap up? Richard.
Yeah, just going back to when Wayne was when the question was the prospect was saying I wanted a house.
Mm-hmm.
I think what you point, because like for me,
Hmm.
don't think for a hot minute that I'm rich, but I've owned several houses.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to be mindful when someone says that I don't assume, well, what's the big deal?
Mm-hmm.
So it was beautiful when you said the thing to ask is why is that important? Don't be assuming.
Mm.
Why is that important to you? I
Exactly.
love that. I love
Exactly.
that. I love so somehow we really got to strip back so we don't assume anything.
Exactly. Exactly.
So thank you. That's what I really gained and wanted
You're
to
welcome.
share. So if it helps.
You're welcome, and happy to help, Richard. Danny, let's try you again.
You hear me clearer now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, cool. I like what the last thing you said about the way you ask the questions and how far you dig. It already makes the prospect feel like they're being listened to, right? And that you care.
Mhm.
So from that perspective, is it truly necessary 100% of the time to go through that recap step in the framework where you kind of show them that you understand, right? Even though you've already dug deep, and that by itself should be enough to make them see that you understand.
It is important.
Okay.
It's very important that you go back and kind of recap uh everything just to make sure that you're both on the same page, and then let them know that you've actually been listening. You know what I mean? It builds a lot of trust, helps a lot. I've tried both. Like I've tried points where because I thought the same thing, Danny. And so I went on a little test myself. I'm like, I'm gonna just skip recap and just go ahead. And then I found that the times that I actually did recap their situation and their vision, their challenges, they felt that they can trust me a lot more for some reason. Obviously, because they feel like I actually know them and know their problems, and that they're looking at me like that trusted advisor that's going to help them get them to their goals.
I see. Okay, okay. And when you recap, right, to make it impactful, do you simply state back, okay, now you're working a 9 to 5, you want to be whatever, operating a business, and what's been holding you back is not knowing how to get there, versus the feelings, right? Okay, now you're really tired of doing your 9 to 5, you're deadbeat, you're stressed, and you want to feel more like alive and blah blah, and you think that the way to do that is having an e-com business, and so far it's just the uncertainty of trying your hand at it with what you currently
Exactly.
know.
The
Okay,
details, the second one, details. You can't
gotcha.
be giving a surface level response. It needs to be like mention the details so they can know that let them know that you've been listening to the pains, to their goals, and why is it so important for them. So definitely the details.
Okay, all right, makes sense to me, man. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Wayne, let's wrap up.
I think you answered it anyway, but I was just going to ask you on that call. I sounded flat, right? Um, someone told me that already, and I did a role play with him today, and he said it was good. So I'm just thinking where I'm at here, like volume wise, energy wise, is this too low? Too low? This energy that I'm giving you now for that type of thing? Like if I was to talk like this, or
Can you
because
do me a favor
I'm
and
really
stand up?
the
Can you
only,
do me
the
can you
only,
do me a favor and
yeah,
stand up,
cool.
Wayne? Stand up and
Yeah, you're
chest
asking me
out.
to open my diaphragm, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right, okay, talk to
Uh-huh.
me. Give me
What
an intro.
normal speaking?
Give me an intro. Give me an intro on the call.
Hey, Rome.
Hey,
Hey, Rome. It's Wayne here, calling you from XYZ Academy. How you doing today?
give me more energy, man. Is there
More
anybody
energy.
sleeping? Is there anybody like sleeping around you? I know it's late in the UK. If it is, we can do this another time, bro. I don't want you to wake up your neighbors.
No, no, no. I don't care. I mean, it is what it is, right? At the end of the day, I want to get this.
It
This
is what it
this
is.
is more
Okay.
important to me, to my neighbors, right? Trust me.
All right, let's
Okay,
wrap
so
up.
let me do it again. Hey, Rome.
Hey, Wayne.
Hey, Rome. It's Wayne here, calling you from XYZ Academy. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm having an amazing day, actually. I just put on a fresh cup of coffee. I'm booked. I'm busy. I'm ready to go.
Love
What
it.
about yourself? What's happening?
Fuck, amazing, man. I mean, my day was okay, but just hearing your voice right now got my energy going up.
Nice. Well, listen, the reason for the call, I know you picked up our ebook, and I just want to see if I can help you out. Do you have a couple of minutes to chat?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what I like to do on these calls, Rome, is first off, just ask you a couple of questions just to really find out a little bit more about you and see if and how I can support you. If I feel like I can, I'll show you exactly how. And look, hey, listen, man, if for any reason I can't, I'm just going to shake hands, point you in the right direction. Sound good?
Perfect, bro. Love it. Love it. And now keep that energy throughout the whole call.
That same energy throughout the whole
That
call.
same energy
Okay.
throughout the whole call.
Okay.
Good man. Just
Thank
practice.
you.
Absolutely. Beautiful, guys. As always, have a lovely Thursday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Thank you.